Welcome to the Wired for Success podcast, your show for ambitious, mission-driven entrepreneurs who want to build million-dollar businesses without sacrificing their health, relationships, or happiness, who understand that in order to build their empire, they need a solid foundation, and that the more they are thriving, the more their business is thriving too. This show brings you the very best from science, self-development, and entrepreneurship to set you up for sustainable success. Hi, I'm Claudia Garbutt, the scientist turned mindset and high performance coach for entrepreneurs, and I help you get wired for success. Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Wired for Success podcast, where we talk about all things science, self-development, and entrepreneurship that help you get to that next level of success in your life and business. And today, I'm excited to bring you a brand new interview episode. My guest today is certified public accountant, tax attorney, and certified tax planner, Christina Lael, who is one of the only 60 people in America certified by the American Institute of Certified Tax Planners. And as a self-proclaimed tax nerd, she's positively obsessed with helping clients structure their businesses in a way that legally saves them the maximum in taxes, funds their retirement accounts quicker, and avoids astronomical taxes when they sell. So she probably has some pretty good tips for you today that can save you a lot of money. Welcome, Christina, and thank you so much for being on my show today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. So, Christina, I have to start by addressing the elephant in the room, which is what happened in your life that made you enjoy reading case law like other people enjoy binge watching Netflix? Because let's call it out, that is not the norm, and it's definitely not me.
Right. Yes, it's not the norm, and it's definitely not most people. What got me so excited, Claudia, is that I was a CPA first, a certified public accountant first, and then I went to law school just because that was the next thing I thought would be, for the career path. And started helping my classmates prepare their tax returns. And they tended to be other like attorneys or paralegals, or they worked for attorneys, and then started doing attorneys tax returns and realized, oh my gosh, so many people are paying more in taxes than they should be. There's so much in the tax code is just voluminous. It is just thousands and thousands of pages, and it's just ridiculous. But I had in law school, I had an amazing tax attorney as a professor, actually a couple of them. And so they really showed me how to read the tax code so that I could use that to help others save, including myself at the time, because I was running my business, save money in taxes. And I saw that so many business owners just pay so much more taxes than they need to, because believe it or not, 99% of the tax code is actually about what is not taxable.
Oh,
and only 1% of the tax code talks about, actually less than 1% talks about like this is taxable. This is taxable income.
right.
Not over 99% talks about the exceptions and what's not taxable and how to reduce taxes. But you've got to get in there because it is such a mess.
Right.
But
Who would have known?
and realize how to really apply it for my clients and how to implement it for them, and to see how they can save money in taxes and change their lives. And my life was changed.
That makes total sense. I guess once you crack the code and you know how to apply it, it's not such a mess anymore, and it's not as confusing as it is for most people, right?
Right. Yes. I've been doing this for over a decade now. And so many other CPAs and accounting firms, they don't do this because it is such a mess. And it is a lot of hard work, and going to law school and studying with tax attorneys and taking classes and reading the tax code. I mean, who wants to do that? So most CPAs and accounting firms, they do very, if any, tax planning, and they're just not focused on it. And they'll tell you that. And even if they do a little bit, it's not nearly what I do, which is fun.
Yeah, it's fun when you can stand out and do something special for your clients.
Yes. Yeah. It's taken me several years to get here. And, but now I love it because I'm saving myself money in taxes and saving so many other of my clients and changing their lives, because these typically are smaller businesses that's who I love to work with. And so, much money is needlessly going it's not like I tell them, I get them to where they don't pay any taxes. They just pay their fair share of taxes instead of their unfair share of taxes. But it saves their lives. I mean, thousands of dollars to tens of thousands, some of my clients, hundreds of thousands of dollars that they save every year. I mean, that is life-changing. And I get to hear about that. So that's super
Yeah,
fun.
that is super fun. So tell us more about who you mainly work with and what your ideal clients usually struggle with when they think about working with you.
So any small business owner. So let me just tell you a little bit, because I've created something, and I think you'll understand this like once I talk about my program that I created, because I
Mhm.
started out and I still do. I work with a lot of people one-on-one, but that has grown so much. So I have to charge a lot of money
Yeah.
for that, because I can only do so much, and I can only work with one on, because I have a very balanced lifestyle,
Mhm.
which I love. I love the lifestyle, business, and work-life balance. And so I can only work with so many people, and can do more complicated tax plans. So what I did is I created this program for any business owner, to save money in taxes. And it's like LegalZoom, but for tax planning. And there's nothing else like it on the market. Like, I'm the first one that did it, actually.
Wow.
Uh,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It's called Freedom Tax Plans. You can go to freedomtaxplans.com. And what it does is it shows you, I have some videos and some explanations, and you enter in your information after watching these very brief but entertaining videos. And it shows you how to save money in taxes. And you implement just some basic information about you and your business, and then it will tell you the tax plans that you can implement for your business, and how to very easily do it, how to increase your expenses. Mostly, there's a couple of strategies about how to select the correct entity, but it's mostly about increasing your expenses by not actually spending more money, if that
Mm.
makes sense. So you're already spending that money like in your daily life, but how to correctly implement that and be able to write it off in your business.
Nice.
There are ways to do that. So it does all that for you, and very simply creates all the documentation that you need and gives you the specific instructions on how to do it. So it made it super simple. So basically, any business owner, I mean, if you're making a profit at all over a net profit over $10,000, then you can save thousands of dollars in tax
But
with this program. And and I can get into I'm going to do a special offer for your podcast listeners
hey, thank
yeah,
you.
today. So yeah, it's actually for your podcast listeners. If they sign up within 24 hours, then they actually get it for under $1,000. It's only $897,
Nice.
and
Thank you so
be able to
much.
save thousands of dollars a year, every year.
But
Yeah.
that's US entrepreneurs, or is that for anyone?
It's really for anyone, because it's
Right.
really about how to set up your entity and how to increase your expenses. So it's really worldwide. And again, increase your expenses by not spending more money. That's very important.
Mm.
A
Hmm.
lot of accounts will say, yeah, we'll just buy a new car, or you can write off this car if you buy this 70,000. Yeah, I write off. Yeah. And maybe I save 20,000 taxes, but I had to spend 70,000. So this is a way not to spend any extra money, but how to incorporate basically your daily life, and how to run your home also as a business, as a management company. And then that has a lot of tax deductions.
Mm.
And so you can see all of that in the Freedom Tax Plans program. So that's much less than the minimum of $7,800 that I charge for a one-on-one
Right.
tax plan. But I
I-
am saving people about 52,000 is the average when I work with people one-on-one.
oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
Good to
so
know.
any business owner making a net profit of 10,000 or more can benefit from Freedom Tax Plans.
Yeah, I was about to ask you. So a lot of people might have no idea how much money they're actually leaving on the tables. So how much
Right.
money are you able to help your clients save on average? So do you have any numbers that you can share to get our listeners excited?
I do. I do. So we're working one-on-one with people, which that's still an option. If you go to freedomtaxplans.com, there's actually a button on the top right that says podcast listeners. So if you click on that, it has information on how to schedule a meeting with me, how to find out more about Freedom Tax Plans. I have a couple of different webinars that really go into it for free.
Hmm.
A 45-minute one, and I think like about a 15-minute one if you're short on time. One's a little bit more in depth. And then, or if you want to book a meeting with me, or you just want to go ahead and sign up. A lot of people wanted to do that as well. So so anyway, so when I work with people one-on-one, I save an average. We figured it out recently. It was $52,750
Woohoo! That's amazing.
per year average. And that's every year.
It's
And
awesome.
then it really is all over the board with Freedom, tax plans. You're guaranteed, it actually comes with a guarantee. So you're guaranteed to save at least for the cost of the program
Right.
the first year, or we refund your money back.
Oh,
But
that's
once you
amazing.
sign up for the program and you get it for an entire year, you can either do $897 up front, or another special offer is $99 a month for a year, if you want to do it that way.
I
And
love,
then,
yeah.
and then you can do it. You can take, anyway, when you do see the little webinar for it, but you can enter in your information as many times as you want.
Cool.
And it just shows you how to, save so much in taxes, and everybody just loves it. It's brilliant. They're like, I wish, people had told me that earlier. And it's so great, whether you've been doing in business for a long time or just starting, because it does have some information about how to correctly set up your entity, depending on your situation.
Yeah, but your clients are just over the moon to save that amount of money. And I love this because they end up with more money in their pockets without having to work any harder. And that is always a good thing,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And I know that's about your podcast. And of course, I live that kind of lifestyle. I play golf and tennis. And so I play golf or tennis every day, sometimes both. So I love my lifestyle, and I love my business. But so much of that is, even for myself, like being able to save, having $1,000, even $1,000 extra,
Yeah.
at the end of the year, without having to spend any more, not have to pay that to the government unnecessarily, because they won't tell you if you pay too much in taxes. I don't know if you've noticed
Sure.
that, especially for business owners. Like, well, you could have done this expense, and you could have, rented out your home a certain way to yourself. And, anyway, there's just so many strategies, but they'll never tell you that. But
No.
when you implement it correctly, and that's another thing, it gives you peace of mind because it implements all the strategies correctly. And they're not crazy strategies like, moving to Puerto Rico or investing into some offshore account. They're very practical, really simple strategies that are specifically in the tax code that, when implemented correctly, which is what Freedom Tax Plans does for you, or we do it for our clients ourselves, working one-on-one. It does all that for you. So that you also have peace of mind that it's all been implemented correctly, and that you have the proper documentation, which it does for you. Because we've gone through audits with our clients that have proven this out, and they've passed
Good. Yeah.
with no changes. So yeah, having that extra, I mean, it's an amazing, $10,000 without having to spend any more money, 20,000, 30, 40, 50. I mean, it just makes a year after year after year. I mean, what a difference that makes, because taxes can really cut down your profit, as you can imagine. I know probably so many of your listeners will, at the end of the year, they get their tax return, maybe they've saved up some money. They're like, yes, I finally maybe had a good year. I've saved up this money. And then what? Like,
Yeah.
what? I have to pay 20,000, 30,000, 10, whatever that number is. I mean, it just, you gotta write that check and it's gone forever. You never get that back.
So
So
true.
it makes that extra income, that extra money, really makes a huge difference, because taxes can just destroy your net profit that you've worked so hard for. And as a business owner, believe me, I know. Put your sweat and tears into it. And if you have a team and you've got employees to support, and you've worked so hard and you've done so much, and you've sacrificed and you failed and you've succeeded and you failed, and and trying to get that work-life balance, believe me, I know. Because I've been there and I've done that. So you deserve to keep as much in your pocket as possible without having to, spend more, or to get some, bogus tax advice that, just buy a new truck this year. Or you got to spend more to save a portion of it. That's not true tax planning.
I agree. Now I'm curious, and we talked about this a little bit before we started recording. Now, when you work with your clients, you probably encounter a whole range of different mindsets and beliefs. So what are some of the limiting mindsets or beliefs that people have about taxes when they start working with you, and what do they come to realize through your work together?
Oh, that's a great question. So a lot of the limiting beliefs that people have, because they've worked with certain CPAs and accounting firms for years, and they've been told there's nothing else you can do. that you just have to pay these. You make a lot of money. You make a lot of money. You're gonna have to pay these taxes. Just deal with it. I've heard people tell me that's what they've heard from their accountants or and these are big accountants in big accounting firms. So then when they were with me being a tax attorney, as well as a certified tax planner, then they realize, oh, wait, I can reduce my taxes. And and another thing too, is that people may say, well, I may be able to reduce my taxes, but I have to spend more. I have to do a profit sharing plan. So I have to, put $50,000 in a retirement plan to save 10 or 20,000. So you don't have to do that. You don't have to spend money to save money in taxes. There's tax planning that you can do where you don't actually spend more money, which is fun. So that's a huge limiting belief that people have, and they love it. And I love that.
That's so great.
Actually, when I present a tax plan to someone, I actually have fireworks in the presentation with dollar bills. It's going to destroy. I see these fireworks destroy the dollar bills coming out of your, flying out of your pocket.
Yeah, we always have to question those underlying beliefs, because those need to be transformed in order to change our behavior and our results, right?
Right. Yeah. And another thing too is that it has to be so complicated.
Yeah.
Or another one is, those are for the big people, the people that are making $1 million or $10 million. Yes, they do have their own tax attorneys and they don't pay a big percentage in taxes. But I take a lot of those, the simpler strategies and make them very simple and very easy to use for any business owner. And that's I'm really filling FILL, not healing, filling that gap between the business owner and then the big companies that are making millions and millions and using, tax saving strategies that we've all heard about and aren't, paying a smaller percentage than the rest of us. So really making it super simple that anyone can follow and anyone can use. So that's been really fun. I have that mindset and that passion to work directly with people. And I've been working so long now with people, with business owners, and taxes shouldn't be you don't know taxes. You shouldn't have to know taxes. That's not what you do. You have your business and you run your business and you offer this specialty and what you're doing, what you're passionate about. You shouldn't have to worry about tax. Let me do that. And I've been able to boil it down and make it super, super simple for people. And again, create this program, freedomtaxplans.com, plural, that does everything for you and really boils it down. And we have an email support and a weekly Q&A for people once they sign up. So we're there for them if they have any questions as well.
Right. That's also very important for people to be able to ask questions, even if it's easy to understand or you have a simple system that they can follow. They still want that peace of mind to be able to ask questions, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. We love working with our clients and having a whole team that I've been able to build up that are incredible. And we all work with them to make sure that they can implement these successfully and understand everything.
That sounds good. And I mean, I believe that one aspect that can be challenging to transform, but on top of that, you encounter personalities that differ a lot in terms of, let's call it, tax preparedness, from super organized to completely overwhelmed to happy-go-lucky and probably everything in between. Can you tell us a little more about those different personality types of clients you encounter in your work? And if there's one category that benefits more from using your services than others, or would you say that all personality types benefit equally?
Yeah, I would say all personality types benefit from it. We have the full gamut. We love them all. And I try to, even for the people that are keeping track of their income and expenses, you don't have to use a certain QuickBooks or Xero, you can, and that's great. We work with a great company if people want help at a very reasonable price to help with their bookkeeping. We don't do bookkeeping because we don't focus on that. We just focus on tax planning and tax return preparation. If you work with us one-on-one. So that's another thing with probably if they are working with a current CPA or an accounting firm, they focus on so many different services and offer so many different services, payroll and bookkeeping and consulting and wealth management, where we just focus on tax planning and tax returns, but we can show you, give you the resources, and we work with other people to connect, with you to help with that. But, just keep it simple. That is really even with our clients, like we don't need to see every receipt. You can put it on a notepad. What is your income? What comes in? That's your income, and the expenses that go out. And get, the one thing you want to do is definitely have a separate bank account for your business. Don't mingle it with your personal money. That's a huge help. So one, be sure to do that. Two, get a separate credit card for your business. Don't intermingle that with your personal. Now, if you do spend something personally on, maybe you're out, you don't have your corporate credit card, which you should always have it. But if you don't, you can always reimburse yourself, but really try to limit that. So it's amazing how much simpler it is just to have a separate banking account, and then all you need to do is keep what's coming in and what's going out. And don't get so tied up and obsessed about the category of your expense. Unless you're if you do, now the only case where you would need to do that is if you have like rental property or you have commercial property and you have to differentiate between what's an actual repair to your building, to your rental property, and then what you have to, like if it's a remodel of, the home that you're renting out or your commercial building, you can't write that all off in 1 year. You have to basically capitalize it, which means you have to add it to the cost of your building and then depreciate it over time. So you take a portion of that expense like every year. So that is important. That is the one thing. But again, we help our clients with that. But besides that, the IRS, they don't care about your expense, like what category you put it in. Like, is it supplies or is it is it supplies or is it an office expense or is it a fee? Like they don't care.
That's good to know.
Yeah, they really don't. As long as you put it down. So I think people get caught up with that, so just try to keep it simple. If you do have a, zero, there's so many great accounting programs now that are fairly simple. And then just try to keep up with it. Just put aside, 1 day a month to do it. When I had to do my own books before I have someone on my team now to do it, that's what I would do. I would do, 1 day, at the beginning of the month, dedicate that day just to reconcile and download everything or just to record everything.
Yeah, those are great.
I also have a great app too. This is for free, whether people sign up for freedomtaxplans.com, but it's Lael Tax App, Lael. You can look it up at any, Play Store. It's iPhone and Android. The Lael Tax App, Lael, A before E, just like the alphabet. And you can download it for free. I'll offer that to your listeners. And that helps you keep track of your income and expenses and helps you keep track of your mileage and helps you even take pictures of your receipts. So you can do it all in that app. And it gives you some tips and tricks about all things taxes.
Oh, thank you. That's great. Great to know. I'll definitely put that in the show notes as well.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
And it's so interesting that you say that the personality type doesn't really matter for your work, because when I do coaching, I find that this does play quite a big role, because sometimes it feels like the challenging clients are the ones that ultimately benefit the most, because the gap between where they are now and where they want to be is the biggest. But it's not always the most fun to work with those people, right?
Right, yeah.
So
we've had some challenge. As long as you're not mean. We've had a couple of clients that have been really mean, and even with a warning, and so we've had to let go of them. But as long as you're nice, we will be happy, and me and my entire team will be happy to work with you. And again, the main thing, especially when we work with people one-on-one, and they want us to do their tax returns, we really work with them on what we need and how to keep it simple, and explain everything to them.
Yeah, that's great. And I guess in the end, it's all good training, and you learn how to deal with the challenging clients as well. And they often teach us more about ourselves and our own triggers and where our blind spots are. So it is an interesting challenge for sure.
That is true. We've had all kinds. But yeah, I have to say my team is amazing. And I have a couple of people on my team that have just the most amazing patience. So,
so important.
So they've taught me some things. I'm like, well, I've got a tea time. I've got to go. No, but it's been, I mean, this is any business owner, we're here to help you save money in taxes. And I love seeing all the different kinds of businesses that are out there and the ideas that people have. And something that you talked about, Claudia, at the beginning when you asked me when I was building, and this has been like 15 years ago, but when I was working corporate America, and I was in the tax department of a Fortune 500 company, and I actually had a very good salary. So I started this company on my own. I was just starting to do some tax returns for people. Again, when I was going to law school, it started out with my classmates, and they referred me, and to others and others, and I was doing that on the side. So I was getting that income, but that income that I was getting from my side gig at the time, I was able to save so much money in taxes. I paid because I was implementing these strategies. So my tax rate was much lower with that side gig than with my corporate, 9 to 5 job. And man, did it make a difference. I mean, I was able to use it to pay off our home. I mean, you could actually see that money. It's amazing, especially people your listeners may be in a situation that do work for someone else. And get a salary where they have taxes withheld from their paycheck. Look at your paycheck, see how much you are is being withheld for taxes. I mean, it's amazing. I just got back from a cruise to the Greek Isles that we just talked about. I had an amazing time, and my older cousins, actually my mom's cousins, were there, but I'm very close to them, and their children just started like working or getting like a significant income. Haven't been super, they're not poor. They're actually, yeah. And he was warning them about the taxes that was going to be taken out of their paychecks. And when they got it, they were like blown away by how much, So anyway, so just it's amazing the benefits you have having that extra money in tax. And I even remember one time my husband and I were at Walmart, and they ran into someone in the military, and he's working overseas, and he got tax-free income, and he said his amount, and he's like, tax-free, baby. I'm like, man, it really does. So just to get it, especially just a reasonable amount, a reasonable percentage, it's amazing what a difference it makes. So if you could say 5%, 10%, 15%,
Yeah, it really
and
makes
then put it back in your business, pay off your house, put it in your family, be able to use it for fun things, for a cruise to the Greek Isles. I mean, it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, sounds amazing. Now, for our listeners out there who are now on the edge of their seats and can't wait to learn more about saving a lot of money, would you mind sharing the top 5 tax saving strategies that most business owners are missing today?
Oh, sure. And I actually have a whole webinar about this that I go into a lot more detail. So again, freedomtaxplans.com. And you can take the webinar for free. And you click on podcast listeners. And then I have a 45-minute, which is just that. That's the name of it. Well, how did you know, Claudia?
Oh, I'm good.
Webinar, like the top 5 things that the business owners are missing out of, the tax saving strategies. And the 45-minute goes into a little deeper. The 15 minutes just, pretty much an overview. This is going to be even faster, that I'll tell you real quick. But again, it's all in the freedomtaxplans.com website if you sign up for that program. For again, for your listeners, either $8.97 one time or $99 a month for 12 months. And that is tax deductible as well, that fee you pay. Don't forget about that. Yeah, the thing with like the different types of entities, I really go into, especially 2 in particular, and how you can save money depending on the type of entity that you create. And it may not even be how it's registered with your state or your county or your city, but how it's taxed. That can be different. And again, I go into how you can set that up very easily and how you elect something to be taxed. And then how to rent. There's a very specific way that a lot of people don't know, and it really is a secret way to rent out your home to your business. And there's a very specific way that you should do that so that you can get that income tax free. And Freedom Tax Plans will show you how to do that and how to implement it very correctly, very easily. But you just need the correct, documentation. Government, they just want, cross the T's and check the I's, and that's what Freedom Tax Plans does. Some people are like, it doesn't even make sense, but okay, I've got this document. I'm like, that's what you need. There's a great way to hire, if you have children, there's a great way to hire your children at any age. And there's a very specific way to do that.
Right.
And to be able to pay them and then they don't have to pay taxes on that. It's interesting, Claudia, and that I say this. So every once in a while, someone will come to me, very rarely, but every once in a while, they'll say, I did hear on some webinar that I was supposed to hire my kids. And so I did that, which that's fine. But I'm like, but they didn't do it correctly. They're not taking full advantage of it. I just got a new client, and because people go to these, like seminars, and they're like, oh, you should hire your kids, or you're home to yourself, but they don't show you how to do it. And of course, they take that back to their accountant if their accountant doesn't know how to correctly implement it and to get the most out of it. How to correctly write off all your medical expenses, including massages and chiropractor visits, which is what I do. And then again, correctly, there is a way you can write off vacations.
Look at that.
I show you how to do. Yes. So again, these are things like you're already spending money on vacations, you're not even spending, you're spending money on your house, obviously. And it's very different. Some people do a home office expense, and that's fine. You can still do that, but there's even a much better way to actually rent out your home to your business and pull that money out tax-free. So what you want to do is, how do I pull money out? First of all, how do I pull my money out tax-free, which is my favorite tax rate of 0%. I love that. And then the next step is, okay, now how do I pull it out at a taxed reduced amount? And then there's some levels of that. So that's kind of the order of things. So those are some little things.
Great tips. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'll make sure to link to that webinar if people want to find out more. So
it's just Freedom Tax. Yeah, if they go to freedomtaxplans.com, and it says podcast listeners on the top right-hand side, flashing a little bit for your listeners. Then you click on that, and then that's where you can sign up to get more information. Those free webinars that talk about the 5 tax saving strategies, and then it goes into how you can buy Freedom Tax Plans to purchase it or work with me individually, or book a meeting with me.
Sounds great. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Christina, for sharing your wisdom and insights with us today. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Oh, my pleasure. I really enjoy talking with you. Your podcast is amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. So take care and talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Wired for Success podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, please take a sec to rate and review my show or share it with a friend. That way you can support the show and help me reach and support other entrepreneurs like yourself as well. If you would like my help to figure out how you can go from overwhelmed and overworked hustler to empowered and confident leader, check out my website at www.wiredforsuccess.solutions and book a free 20-minute strategy session with me. Can't wait to help you get wired for success. Until next time, take care. Bye.